everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of Dayspring Discussions. I'm your host, Sean McGahee, and this is a show where we talk about movies, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books. If you geek out about it, we're going to talk about it. I am joined today by the always lovely Miss Lisa Locke McGahee.
Hello.
Alright, well guys, it is a late Sunday night here. Scheduling conflicts came up this week, so we're going to run through some normal news right now. I might do an extra show on Tuesday. We'll see how it goes. I have yet to talk about DC's Rebirth and a few other things, so I might fly solo on a later episode. But there's a couple things, of course, we wanted to get out and talk about. The first thing, something I feel like Lisa's going to be super excited about. So let's just get into it. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, guys. So Harry Potter fans in the UK are in for a little special treat because on Tuesday, June 7th, they're going to be doing previews for the Harry Potter play, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which officially opens on June 30th. Now, this is the 8th story in the Harry Potter series written by J.K. Rowling herself and the first Harry Potter story to be presented on stage. Now, readers and moviegoers last saw Harry waving off his children at platform 9 3/4 at the end of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Cursed Child allegedly picks up the story right after that moment. Now, the plot or the summary reads as this. It was always difficult being Harry Potter, and it isn't much easier now that he is an overworked employee of the Ministry of Magic, a husband and father of 3 school-aged children. While Harry grapples with the past that refuses to stay where it belongs, his youngest son, Albus, must struggle with the weight of a family legacy he never wanted. As past and present fuse together, both father and son learn the uncomfortable truth. Sometimes darkness comes from unexpected places. Now, like I said, this is written by J.K. Rowling herself, who wrote the other Harry Potter books. And she also got help from Jack Thorne and John Tiffany. John Tiffany being the one who is actually directing the play. Let's see here. Now, last week they presented some cast pictures of the families, the Potter family, the Weasley family, and the Malfoy family as well. So we got to take a look at kind of the cast there. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child opens July 30th at the Palace Theatre in London. Excuse me. And the script book will be released the next day, July 31st, which, remind me, is Harry Potter's birthday, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It is Harry Potter's birthday. Okay. So, really what it comes down to is, yes, there's this Harry Potter play, but really what we're getting is another Harry Potter story, another Harry Potter book written by J.K. Rowling herself. I know with certain things that I love, such as, say, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, they continued a season 8 and 9 and 10, but it didn't feel the same because it wasn't written by Joss Whedon, the creator. This, written by the Harry Potter creator, J.K. Rowling. What level is your excitement on this?
Oh, I'm super excited.
Yeah.
I have this pre-ordered already.
I was going to say, I thought you pre-ordered the book, script book already.
Yeah. I'm super excited. I mean, I love anything that has to do with the Harry Potter world. And I think, J.K. Rowling is such an amazing woman anyway. Like, just all aspects of her life are amazing. And the books, I can't get enough. I love Harry Potter. I love the world. And so just to see now what is going to be going on with his children and with their struggles at Hogwarts and, now seeing Harry Potter as an adult and the pressure that, he had, it's kind of like, it's repeating itself. He had the unexpected pressure in his life about something he had no control over. Now his sons have to live, and his daughter, will have to live with the burden of being Harry's kid.
I mean, yeah, there's the burden of being Harry's kid, but you think there's actually like an actual evil from Harry's past, like maybe something that we saw in previous movies or books or whatever that's coming back?
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be Voldemort because they play that out to death.
Yeah, no, but I mean, there's always evil, and I think that's kind of the point. There's
always evil.
It's like what they said that darkness is found. You can't, it doesn't. Voldemort wasn't the only evil person in those stories.
That's true.
I mean, we see those memes going on all the time. I tell you what, Umbridge is the biggest evil bitch in the world.
Maybe we could just kill Dolores Umbridge. How about that?
So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm really excited. I think the cast pictures that they showed look really good. And, I mean, I hope that this ends up touring worldwide and not just in England.
Well, I think if anything,
I would like to see this play.
If anything, of course, I'm sure they'll come out with like some kind of DVD where like they'll put on DVD and people can buy the
Yeah,
DVD.
but seeing a
if you can't go to
play
London.
that's on
I
DVD
get
is
it.
not the
I
same.
get it.
Like,
And then Plan B, you always wanted to go to London.
I know,
so.
I do want to go to London, but I don't know if. Anyway, I'm very excited for this. It's like once the Harry Potter was all, done, the books were done, and then the movies were done. There was like this void, and then Pottermore started, and it's like and throughout Pottermore, she's released bits and pieces throughout there, a little more histories of certain characters, little bits of backstory, more information about lots of different things in the Harry Potter world, and I love it. I just wish that Pottermore was an app, so I could play it on my iPad instead of having to get on the computer.
Because you don't get on the computer at all
Because I don't
anymore.
get on the computer anymore. So if you're listening to this, anyone who's involved in any way, shape, or form to, Pottermore, please make a Pottermore app. Thank you. But anyway, like I love it. I love anytime I can get back into
any new Harry Potter stuff.
But I don't like. I like that it's her. I agree with you. I
Yeah.
think anytime the originator of it stops and somebody else starts doing it, I think it goes downhill generally.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't think that she would give permission for that anyway. I don't think she would do it.
I would hope not. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think when she's done, it'll just be done.
Yeah. Do you think we're gonna get more after this?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I
think we're gonna get a 9th story, a 10th story?
I don't know. Maybe.
I think it's gonna go on and on and on.
Maybe. I'd be fine
I would
with
imagine
it.
so. I mean, come on. Let's think about how much money those books and those movies made, especially the movies. There's no way that Warner Brothers or her publisher, whoever, are just like, okay, you can stop now.
Yeah, but I don't think it has anything to do with the money for her.
Not for her
I
too,
mean,
but
I think as long as she has a story to tell, I think she's gonna tell it. I think when she feels like she's done telling stories, then I think she'll quit, no matter what the money is.
The thing about it is, like, worlds like that are so fleshed out. Like, she has the whole world inside of her head, and she's just told a portion of it, Harry's portion of it. So there are other parts to tell, just like Fantastic Beasts coming out this fall as well. That's something else I'm sure she has in her head. And any good storyteller, they know the world so well. Just like, say George Lucas in Star Wars.
Or like Lord of the Rings.
The Lord of the Rings, exactly.
World, yeah.
They've created a whole world in their head that is so rich, and that's why we buy those worlds so much, because it is so in depth and so rich. And
because you long to be in it, like you feel it, you can.
They go through to the minute details.
Yeah.
Is what it is. The minute details is what makes it real. And people like that, they make those small things to where it does feel real. Exactly.
I'm still pissed I didn't get my Hogwarts letter.
You're what?
I'm still pissed I never got my Hogwarts letter.
What do you mean?
Like, I never got to go to Hogwarts. I'm waiting. I'm still waiting for my owl.
Okay.
The 11-year-old me that...
Okay, Lisa, it's not real. It's fictional. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm so sorry. I mean, if you can't go to Hogwarts, I can't go to Jedi Academy, okay? That's just fair, I think, in my opinion.
I guess.
All right? So, don't worry. You'll go back to Harry Potter world soon enough.
I am probably due for my yearly read of Harry Potter.
Oh, you're really okay.
I read them every year.
No, you read them more than a year, I think. I feel like.
No.
I mean, you at least do read them once a year, and then you listen to audiobooks once a year.
No, not each. I do one or the other.
No, you do one. You do both of them. I think you do both of them.
I don't do both.
You're that crazy. Yes, you are. Okay. I think that is true. So, all right, guys. So, jumping off Harry Potter, pretty much the rest of the stories we got going on are going to be involved with Marvel or DC and what's going on with them, which I feel like a lot of times what we talk about. Try to diversify the program a little bit. Occasionally talk some Doctor Who when some big stories come up, and Harry Potter and anything else that is big that comes up. But this is what I like. I like Marvel, DC, and stuff like that. I'm a big comic book guy, so this is what I like to talk about. So hopefully you like hearing me talk about it. So with that said, we can get into some DC news, starting off with the television universe. Actress Willa Holland, who plays Thea, or Speedy, on Arrow, talked to The Mirror and expressed her frustration with the disconnect between DC's film and television series, saying that the DC Cinematic Universe could learn a lesson from Marvel's Cinematic Universe, saying, quote, we were about season 2 when they started telling us we had to basically kill off the Suicide Squad story that we were starting to build on our own. We were actually trying to build that in our own show, and I guess once DC found out they were going to be doing their own movie of it, we had to axe all the characters before we could even got a chance to show them, which is a little annoying at first. And then she went on to talk about, characters in the DC Cinematic Universe that they're not using that are also in the television universe, such as Stephen Amell and Grant Gustin. She said, quote, "Then we found out there was going to be a Justice League movie. It only seemed right that Stephen would be playing Green Arrow and Grant would be playing The Flash. Marvel does it in their own weird way and meshes it, with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the movies and stuff. So it's a little upsetting because you know it is possible and it can be done and it can be done good as well." So there's her kind of talking about her frustration with the DC, our Warner Brothers programming, I guess you could say. But, I guess it makes sense because the reason I brought this story up, or I want to talk about this, because something I talked about, a month or two ago, is in the show Arrow, you had the character of Amanda Waller. And yes, in season 2, they did a Suicide Squad episode. And Amanda Waller has been not really a dominant character in the show, but she's been in it quite a bit, actually.
She the leader lady?
Yeah, the leader of the Suicide Squad, the African-American lady and stuff.
I know what you're talking
and in a kind of a surprising episode this past year, they killed her off. And I thought that was a little weird considering, she's kind of a main character, I guess you could say. So I didn't expect her to kill her off. But then I thought about it. Amanda Waller is going to be in the Suicide Squad movie as well. And again, they set up in previous season and previous episodes.
Is she the one in the trailer?
Yeah, again.
What's the actress's name?
I forget.
She was...
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, the African-American lady.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, so they killed her off, and I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, they killed the Suicide Squad characters in Arrow. They killed off Amanda Waller. Why? Because they're all going to be in the movie. And to me, that seemed a little annoying to take characters that were working very well in the TV series just because they didn't want to cross the characters into the film universe as well. But of course, the conundrum, which I'll talk about here in a minute in the next story, is Flash. Flash is a hit TV series. You can't take Barry Allen or that TV series and just cut him just because you're going to make a Flash movie. But
we're not.
I know they're not. I'm just saying that's what it seems like. They were doing that with the Suicide Squad characters, of course. But now they think that's easy. Well, they can't do that with the Flash, obviously. But as far as again keeping the DC television and movies separate, that's something they've chosen to do. Now I watched a video yesterday with Stephen Amell where he was talking about how now Supergirl's coming over to the CW and going to join the rest of the shows, Arrow, Flash, and DC's Legends tomorrow. And he kind of teased that they're going to do a 4-episode or 4-night kind of crossover with all 4 shows because they've done Flash and Arrow crossover episodes. This last season they used a 2-part episode to set up DC's Legends of Tomorrow, but now they're going to do something that's going to be like Monday Supergirl, Tuesday Flash, Wednesday Arrow, Thursday DC Legends Tomorrow, and it's all one continuous storyline. And for me, I'm not a fan of DC's Legends Tomorrow. Arrow's kind of going downhill. I haven't watched Supergirl. Flash is still great, but to me, the DC television cinematic universe, I feel, is doing it better than the DC cinematic universe. What do you think about all this? I know you've seen the shows, you've seen the movies.
I've never seen the Legends of Tomorrow, but I've seen all the other ones.
Yeah. So how do you feel about the comments about how they took these characters out just because they were going to put them in the movies? And do you feel like maybe the CW shows or television cinematic universe is working better than the movie universe?
Well, the movie universe doesn't have... there's only 2. So I think it's kind of unfair to judge now which one is doing better. Because, Flash has got how many seasons now? 3?
2.
It's only been 2?
2. Arrow's got 4. Flash has got 2.
Supergirl's 1.
Supergirl's 1.
So the TV has been going on longer, so I don't think you can really judge which one
is
doing better.
Another thing too is with the movies, you get 2.5 hours to tell that story and the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Here you have 22 episodes a season,
right.
So which of course is one of the reasons why I prefer television over movies because you can get more character in depth and not just try to shove everything into 2 hours as well.
Right. But I also, kind of in contrast, if you're looking at them, when she's talking about how Marvel's doing it and they're doing it fine, the Marvel TV shows
aren't doing that
aren't
fine.
really that great.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is criticized. Agent Carter was just canceled.
I mean, I liked the first season of Agent Carter. The second one I didn't even finish. I got super.
I actually finished it.
It got too weird.
I finished it last week. It was finishing it.
Yeah.
I like where they were going. We'll talk about that. That's
anyway,
another story we're going to talk about.
I mean, like, and then you look at you know, the Marvel one, the Marvel Netflix series are doing really good.
Those are awesome.
You know,
those are so awesome.
They're getting very, you know, praised very highly. But
yeah.
I mean, I hardly think that, you know, her saying, well, Marvel can do it and they can do it well is really saying anything.
I think
they're
she's
not
just
really doing it.
I think it's just thinking like because there was it was the guy Tom Cavanaugh, I believe is who it was. They came out like last month or a month before and kind of again criticized Warner Brothers for not making Grant Gustin the movie Flash as well too.
Right.
And I think it's kind of along the same thing. They're her co-stars, her friends, so she wants good things for them. She thinks they're doing a good job, so she wants them in the movies to get more high profile.
I mean, I agree with her, and I personally have never exactly understood. I mean, I understand people's reasoning for why the TV shows and the cinematic universes should be kept separate, but I don't really buy it. I think it would be, you know, because I know what they say all the time, like it's too hard if you're trying to balance it in two different directions.
You have too many rules and stuff like that.
I mean, I know what people say. I think that's a cop out. I mean, I think if it's not that hard to make the TV storylines just go in a different direction
and use different
to where
characters.
You could still use some of the same actors, like have the same Flash be in the movies, have the same, you know, if Green Arrow was going to be in the movies, you know, I don't think it would be that big a deal if you just take those two main characters, put them in the films. The TV shows generally do a completely different set of things. And it's not like comic books in general aren't able to rewrite whatever the hell they want whenever the hell they want to.
They do to a reset.
So, exactly. If something did start contradicting, whatever, they would just go to Earth 3 or 5 or 12, you know, whatever.
Yes. Well, we have the Flash who travels through universes in time and can reset universes in time. So
that's my point.
Pretty much.
I mean, I do think that I think it would have been nice if they had used Grant Gustin in the films, just because he does a great job, and I mean, and people really like him.
Here's the thing I don't get is, they want to right now. The current Flash in the comic book series is Barry Allen. He's the main guy. He's always really been the main Flash, but for several years, Wally West, who started off as Kid Flash, was the Flash. I mean, that's growing up for me. That was the Flash. Was Wally West. He was on the Justice League animated series as well. So before Barry Allen came back a few years ago, people knew the Flash as Wally West. Why couldn't the movies just do Wally West?
I know, that would have made more sense.
And they have Barry Allen, and then again, they don't have to follow the same set of rules because there have been like 3 or 4 different Flashes. Why do they have to get Barry Allen in both? Because I feel like they're putting themselves in a bit of a corner there. But tell you what, let's just get into it then.
I mean, I still think that the DC Cinematic Universe doesn't know what the hell they're doing. So, I guess we'll see.
So, bouncing off of that, Warner Brothers has just announced their new director for the Flash movie, which is going to star Ezra Miller as Barry Allen, a.k.a. The Flash. Now, beforehand, Phil Lord and Christopher Miller were set to direct the film and actually wrote a treatment of it before they left to go do the Han Solo spin-off film for Disney and Lucasfilm. The director after that, Seth Grahame-Smith, left last month as well. Some are saying because of his lack of experience, they didn't want him doing this high-budget blockbuster film. So they got this guy, Rick, I'm going to say his name totally wrong, Famuyiwa. Yeah, how do you say that? I don't know how to say it.
I'm not Japanese.
Okay, I don't know who it is. Actually, he's African American.
It looks Japanese.
He's black. I saw the picture of him.
I'm just saying the name looks Japanese.
Anyway, so this guy, he's directed The Wood and last year's Dope. Flash is coming out on March 16th, 2018. Now, according to Deadline, they're still using the script that Seth Grahame-Smith wrote. And of course, that was based off the treatment that Phil Lord and Christopher Miller did as well too. They said that this new director had a vision that would resonate with would resonate with young viewers, and that his vision was very compatible with the script that the studio is moving forward with this guy. So again, the Flash movie been through a couple of changes, I guess you could say. And with this, as soon as they said they were doing a Flash movie, I knew they were in trouble because of the Flash TV show. because not only because the Flash TV show, everyone kind of agrees that in the comic book community, they're doing it right. The series is satisfying comic book fans and also general audience fan, because Teresa, of course, when we talk about she messaged me earlier. She listened to my podcast I did last week about reviewing the Flash and all that stuff too. So thanks for listening, Teresa. But anyway, yeah, this movie, I don't know what they're going to do with it, honestly.
I know. I'm worried. I mean, I'm worried about everything that the DC Cinematic Universe does right now.
It's about the first, again, there's two things I'm worried about. First off is the fact there is a TV show that is doing so well that people tend to love. So no matter what they do, this Barry Allen and all their cast of characters, which allegedly they're going to be the same people. They're going to have Iris in it. They're going to have Eddie in it. They're going to have, all these other people that are in the TV show in this movie. So it's all going to be compared to the TV show, which I don't think is going to measure up. Ezra Miller, from what we saw him in that little clip in Batman v Superman, he looks kind of grungy and, looks like you're,
It wasn't a very big clip, though. I mean, in defense, I think we should reserve judgment on that until we've seen.
I'm trying not to, because Ezra Miller is a great actor. Love Ezra Miller. I think he can do whatever they do. I'm just afraid they're going to do they're going to try to be so different from the TV show that they're going to lose the essence of the character, because Grant Gustin and everyone in that show captures so well what the Flash is, and they want to try to be different that it's going to be crappy, I think, is my thing. The other thing is going to be the actual Flash effects themselves. Because as we saw in X-Men Days of Future Past and X-Men Apocalypse, they've done so well with Quicksilver and the whole speedster thing and showing the whole speedster viewpoint. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, so what is this movie going to do for like the speedster point of view that's going to be new, that's going to make us go, oh wow, that's cool. Yeah. Because we've already seen like the coolest thing, I think, in Days of Future Past, Mm-hmm. And again, the TV show does a pretty good job with its effects and, showing us Barry Allen's point of view as well, too. To what they're going to do, I think they've got themselves in a corner on both of these things, and I think it's really going to hurt the film.
Yeah, I think so, too.
So I'm not sure how they're going to get around it, but...
when is that one supposed to come out?
March 16th, 2018. Hey, it's right before St. Patty's. Cool. Great. Awesome.
Well, maybe the show will really tank this year, and then the movie will fix it.
Don't say that.
I'm just saying.
Come on. Don't do that. All right. Well, before we bounce over again, I totally forgot I was going to use the whole Arrow talk to talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. Of course, star Stephen Amell was in this film. I went and saw it last night. I'm a huge Ninja Turtle fan, that I've said on here before, and I really hated that last film. This one, still not great, but I didn't hate it. To say a couple things, Stephen Amell was my biggest disappointment because, again, I like him as Oliver Queen on Arrow. I think he's a good actor. He's really cool as far as social media. He's always
He seems like a really cool guy.
Yeah, exactly. And a really cool guy in general, too. So I like that around him. So I was rooting for him to do well in this film. He came off kind of cheesy, a little whiny, but I don't think it was his fault. I think it was more the writing. Now, my biggest kind of thing I liked about the film is that this film, unlike the previous one, was more about the Turtles, kind of what they're going through. They were kind of the centerpiece of it and their storyline, as opposed to the last film that was mainly focused on Megan Fox. This film, actually, Megan Fox has very little to do, which is phenomenal. So there are parts in this film that, as a Turtle fan, felt like Ninja Turtles to me, so I like that, but still not the best film. If you're a hardcore Turtles fan, I recommend going to just check it out. If you're just curious about it, even just a little bit, skip it, save your money, go see Captain America again, or X-Men Apocalypse. What I'm going to say about that. So, cool? Mm-hmm. Anything you want to add?
I had no interest in the Turtles.
Okay, well, how about this? Stephen Amell, are you rooting for him to maybe jump onto the big screen?
I mean, I like Stephen Amell. I mean, I like him.
Do you think he's a good enough actor to make that jump?
I don't know. I've only really ever seen him in Arrow. And I don't know, that role, I mean, I don't think it really gives him a huge range of acting to do. It's, you know what I mean?
I got you. He plays the brooding hero, is what it is.
So I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I think if he's good, then sure.
Okay. Cool. All right. So jumping over, we're going over. We're mentioning stuff, and I'm just jumping. That's leading to other stuff. So we talked about Agent Carter and the Marvel series or TV series as well. So Agent Carter was canceled. ABC canceled the series after season 2 this last year. Now star Haley Atwell talked at MegaCon as kind of the direction the show would have taken in its 3rd season had it not been canceled. Said, quote, "There was talk of season 3 of going further back into her past. I suppose into something to do with her family. They suggested there would be more to do with my brother. That's all I can say." Now, Haley Atwell, as well as co-star Dominic Cooper, said they would definitely be willing to do more seasons as well, but I don't think ABC or Marvel's up for it. Now, there's also a petition online right now for fans to campaign for a Netflix series to pick up season 3, and the petition has over 117,000 signatures, which is not that much actually. So, but anyway, thing I liked about the story, which kind of the thing I liked about season 2, is they did talk about her past.
But season 2 was just too weird for me. I think the science-y of it. I mean, and I like science. It was too weird.
I got you. It wasn't more. Season 1 was more secret agent.
Right, and that's what I like about Agent Carter. I like the secret agent, the spy.
It was more grounded.
Yeah, the second one. I mean, season 2 was just it was just weird.
Yeah, I get it.
Everything was too, like. It was just weird. It was too weird.
Yeah, and
but I would love to see us go back into her past.
Like in the season 2, you got that episode where you talked about her past with her brother and all of that. And I finished season 2 just to give you a little peek. At the end of the season, what's the guy? Chad Michael Murray's character, or whatever. He had a file on Peggy about kind of her indiscretions of her past. And at the end of the season, the cliffhanger is that some mysterious character who we didn't even see his face shot him and then took that file from him. Like he's going to use it against Peggy as well. So season 3, I think, would have dived more into her past, which I really would have liked to see because I really like the character. I like seeing her pop up in the Marvel movies.
Yeah, that's why it was a shame to me that this season was so odd, because I really love Peggy. I love her relationship with Jarvis. I like all the act. I mean, I like the other people.
Characters are good, yeah.
Yeah, the other characters are good. The guy with the limp, I can't remember his name.
I don't know. They get together at the end of the season too.
Well, I'm good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
But I mean, I like all the characters in it, and I like the stories that are about the stuff that they're fighting. But I just this season, all that dark matter stuff was just weird.
Yeah, I got you. I mean, I can see why it was canceled. And the thing that I've come to learn or realize or whatever is these online petitions don't do
anything.
I mean, it's one of those things where they keep on telling us. It's like when the show Young Justice was canceled. And Greg Weisman, one of the showrunners and writers, he's like, well, if you want the show to bring back, you A, have to buy the DVDs, B, keep binge watching on Netflix, or C, you should have watched the show when it aired. You should have gotten more people. And like you said,
Yeah, but the problem with this is, if this season had been more, the problem with this season and the reason it got canceled was I stopped watching, and I'm sure a lot of people did, because it was weird.
Yeah.
Like, it's not because we weren't interested in Peggy
it's never
Carter.
had season 1 didn't have that high of a ratings anyway.
Right.
But still, it was good enough to get a second season because we enjoyed it.
And then second season got weird. So everyone quit watching. Not everyone, but a lot of people quit watching. But this season 3 plan sounds like something I would have wanted to watch again.
Dave diving in her past, because then that was my favorite episode of season 2 when they did the whole backstory with their brother and stuff like that. So that would have been interesting, but I don't think it's coming back. I don't think we'll ever know. I'd like for them to, again, do something more with her, whether it be like a short or put her in, another movie or something like that. That'd be awesome. But I think this series itself is gone.
Yeah,
in my
I agree.
opinion. So, okay. All right, so let's stick with the Marvel Universe. The big news or big rumor coming out last week is that Oscar winner Brie Larson is in early talks to play the title character of Carol Danvers in the Captain Marvel film. According to Variety, the Room star is the front-runner for the part. Says it isn't clear how far Larson's negotiations have progressed. The report claims that she, however, is the first choice. Now, last month, Kevin Feige, Marvel Studios president, revealed that, quote, we'll be announcing a filmmaker in the next month or two, and probably some cast members later in the summer, at the end of this summer. The story, Captain Marvel, is going to be written by Nicole Perlman, who helped write Guardians of the Galaxy, and Meg LaFave, Lefauve, I think that's how you say it, who helped write Inside Out. Captain Marvel is scheduled to come out March 8th, 2019. So, Brie Larson, frontrunner for Captain Marvel to be in a Marvel Studio film. I know you haven't seen The Room, but you did see her in Trainwreck with Amy Schumer. She played her sister. Did you like her as an actress? Are you kind of rooting for her to do more? What do you think?
Yeah, sorry.
It's late, guys.
It's late for me. Yeah, no, I do. I like her. I think she's a good actress. I mean, I don't know much about Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
So I really don't have any idea if she, would be any good in it.
Mm-hmm.
But to quote John Campea, it's never a mistake to add talent.
Exactly.
So,
and that's what's happening here is that they are, going for the best. They've gotten Robert Redford, they've gotten Anthony Hopkins, all these great actor and actresses, Kate Blanchett in Thor. I mean, they go after the talent. Exactly. Same thing to do with, say, the directors. James Gunn before he did Guardians of the Galaxy, was just a small independent director, but Kevin Feige knew that he could tell a story. And the whole special effects and spectacle of it all, that's why he's got the whole rest of the team there to help him out. Mm-hmm. And, it's the thing. You recruit the talent, and you get these people, same to do with going back to The Flash. This guy, they got to direct the Flash movie. He did The Wood and Dope, which are two films that I enjoyed. So that guy knows how to tell a story, which is, I can see why they recruited him. Mm-hmm. And the special effects part of it all, that's why he's got the whole team there to help him out. So... but Brie Larson, great actress. The Room, one of my favorite films. Out of the films I was nominated for an Oscar, it was my pick to win the Oscar, and it didn't. But I'm glad that she got the win for her role, and I'm excited for her. Not a person I would have thought of. Like if you give me my top 3 or 5, not a person I would have put in there. But I don't think anyone.
Sometimes I think that's how it works out best, is when they pick when studios pick somebody who wasn't even on your radar, and then sometimes that ends up being
because my number 1 pick for this would have been I never say her name right, Yvonne Strahovski, who played Sarah from Chuck, because Captain Marvel is a strong military type character or whatever, so going off of that, or Emily Blunt. I feel a lot of people thought Emily Blunt would have been good for the part. But yeah, Brie Larson, I think she'd do a great job. We'll just have to wait and see how that all pans out. Again, it is kind of rumored because Marvel has not confirmed anything, but I think, needless to say, we're all kind of excited for it. Speaking of recruiting talent, your favorite movie that I know you're just dying to see, Transformers: The Last Night, has recruited Anthony Hopkins to join the picture.
Is this for sure? For sure?
Not a rumor? This is for sure. Yes, this is for sure. He's going to be going alongside Mark Wahlberg for the 5th installment of the Transformers franchise. Of course, the film is directed by Michael Bay. And earlier this week, or last week, Bay teased on his Instagram account that the character of Megatron will be returning in this film as well. I don't think he was in the last one, though. I don't know. I only saw the film once. Anyway,
I didn't see it.
Transformers: The Last Night opens June 23rd, 2017, the first of a new slew of Transformers films. I know you don't like Transformers.
No.
Do you think Anthony Hopkins can add anything to the film?
I don't know, because Anthony Hopkins is great, obviously. Mm-hmm. He has been in the business a long time. He has like a gravitas that he can, bring to things. But he's done a lot of shit things too. Yeah. So I think if this movie happens to be decent, he might make it better. But I think if the movie's shit...
It depends on how big a role he has.
Right. But I think if the movie's shit, then him being in it, I don't think we'll be able to
Well, let's not forget, the last film had Stanley Tucci. Mm-hmm. And that movie's still crap.
Also, there's a lot of crap movies that have good actors and actresses in them. Just having one really great person in a film... It doesn't necessarily save it.
It's got to be.
If the story is crap,
story and directing, yes.
You could have the best cast ever, and if it's just not a good script and then it's not going to be a good film. No matter how well they act in it, if the lines aren't right and the action's too ridiculous and it's just what I mean. Like it doesn't matter. So having amazing talent in a film will elevate a good film, but it doesn't help a film that's not. Where the story, if you don't have a good story, you're not going to have a good film, period. Doesn't matter how good the effects are, how good the cast is, how good the whatever the cinematography is, whatever. If the story is not good, the movie will not be good.
Exactly. The special effects, it's like they always say, the special effects and the action scenes are there to support the story. They have to be a part of the story. If you have just a senseless action scene that doesn't further the characters in the story,
it's just boring.
It's just ridiculous.
I mean, I feel like sometimes that's what Hollywood forgets is they just want to make another movie, and they throw something together and add all this junk, and they think it's going to be good. And if you don't have a good story, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, true. So yeah, Anthony Hopkins, of course, him being in this film, it's a paycheck for him, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Again, he's a talented guy. Hopefully some of his talent will help this film, which I'm about 80% sure. No, I'll say 90% sure is going to be crap.
Yeah.
What's your percentage?
Oh, I have no. I can't even predict. I mean, I'm 100% sure it's gonna be crap.
Okay, all right. I'll give it some faith.
Well, maybe I shouldn't say that because I didn't actually see the last one,
Which is crap. So
and
don't
I
worry,
didn't
you're
like
okay.
the third one. The second one was meh, and I really liked the first one a lot. Really, I've only liked one.
One, yes.
So right now,
he's 1 out of 4.
Yeah, they're that's a failure.
I got you. Well, we'll just have to wait and see how this one goes. All right. So jumping over, let's talk about some X-Men.
I never got to talk about Apocalypse.
Okay, well, I'll tell you kind of this. I'll talk about this little story here, and then you can share some of your feelings on Apocalypse, all right? So, Bryan Singer has been in with this franchise in one way or another for about 16 years now, since the X-Men movies started being made. He directed X-Men, X2, then he took a little break. They made X3 and the Wolverine origin film. And then he came back to help produce X-Men First Class as well as write. And then he directed Days of Future Past and the current one, Apocalypse. So in an interview, he was talking about how he kind of wants to take a break from the X-Men and do, quote, something really different. He said, "The reality is, even though I'm desperate to jump to something completely different, I spent so many years in this universe. I love this cast and the characters so much. I just don't see myself abandoning them forever. Perhaps as a consultant, as a producer, even as a director, I could see myself returning in the future. Just right now, once this one is done," which he's talking about Age of Apocalypse, "I'd like to do something really different." So it looks like he's going to possibly step away from the franchise for a little while, maybe do something different, not direct the next X-Men film. So based off what you've seen of X-Men Apocalypse, are you happy about this or not happy about this?
About him stepping away?
Yeah.
Not happy.
Okay.
No, I think he makes good X-Men movies.
I mean, I would dare to say the only good X-Men movies are the ones that he's directed.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I didn't hate X3 the way everybody else did,
it.
but I'm not. I
I
don't read the comics. I mean, I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it the way.
It's like, okay, it's like when we walked out of X-Men Apocalypse, I said this was the quintessential X-Men movie, the one I've been waiting for, because everything just it dripped
as a
of
comic
X-Men.
book fan.
Yeah, as a comic book fan, it dripped of X-Men, storylines and puns and images and stuff like that. X3 was the exact opposite. It did not feel like an X-Men movie at all because none of the characters were acting how they should have and all that stuff. So
yeah, I mean, I understand that. I'm just saying, as a not comic book reader, it didn't affect me that way because I didn't. Like I said, I didn't love it. I definitely liked X-Men and X2 much better, much better than X3. And then even with these new ones, I liked Days of Future Past and Apocalypse better than I liked First Class.
Okay, so where would you put it? Where would you put Apocalypse? So you put that like number 2 in your X-Men movies? Like you put Days of Future...
No. Days of Future Past is my favorite.
Okay, so where would you put Apocalypse then, as far as numbering? Would you put it before X2 or what do you?
I don't know.
Because I put it as number 2. I went Days of Future Past.
I think I liked X-Men and X2 better than I liked Apocalypse.
Okay, and that's fair.
And then maybe Apocalypse after that. I mean, I really liked it. I really did.
Okay,
but
so
I didn't. I thought that the Horsemen were definitely underused.
Yeah, they were pretty much
seemed kind of like wasted. Yeah, like
that Bandito was
like
the
there
only
was
one.
a lot of build up into like making them more powerful, and then they were like.
What they were just like running interference.
Exactly, and I like that Storm is sticking around at the end though, because I think that she's gonna be really awesome. But like if we never see Psylocke again, meh.
Yeah, or
and Angel's dead,
died.
Right? Yeah.
And like I was telling this in the podcast.
Sorry, spoilers.
If you haven't, it's been a couple of weeks, so if you haven't seen the movie, you shouldn't be listening to us. But yeah, with Angel, I said this last week, is his main storyline in the comics, his good storyline is tied to Apocalypse. And Apocalypse, again, spoiler, he dies in the film. So if Apocalypse isn't there, I have no problem getting rid of Angel because he's worthless.
Yeah, he seems like kind of a tool anyway.
And then Psylocke, the thing that kind of bothered me is she's actually, they hinted at it at the beginning of the film where she was a psychic like Jean Grey and Professor Xavier.
But then
when did she ever use her psychic powers?
Right.
She had like that mystical whip or whatever, and the psychic blade she has in the comics, okay? I've never seen her have like a whip like she used on Beast before, so I'm not sure about that. But yeah, she's mainly a psychic and had no psychic powers.
Yeah, I mean, because it almost seemed like if they had utilized... Well, the reason that they didn't bring up that is because they wanted him to have to get Xavier.
Yeah.
If she could do what Xavier did, then he wouldn't have needed Xavier.
Well, Xavier is definitely more powerful than her.
Right, but I'm just saying, I'm sure in terms of the script, that's why they did not give Psylocke that power
I'll agree with that.
in the script.
I'll agree with that, yes.
Otherwise, it would have been kind of stupid and unnecessary
to get another
for him
telepath
to go get Xavier. Right. So, but then on that token... Why didn't they just pick somebody else to be the Horseman? Somebody who actually had a little more power than her, a different power than her.
Well, because she looks good in spandex.
Right. I mean, I'm not disagreeing. Olivia Munn, I think she's beautiful, and I think she's a very good actress, and I think she was underused.
But that's the thing, too, is like, with this film compared to Days of Future Past, this had a lot of characters in it, like Days of Future Past. I felt like these characters were used better, though, as far as the number of characters in Days of Future Past.
You think they were used better in Days of Future Past?
In Days of Future Past.
Well, but I think that unfortunately, for this one, Days of Future Past, all the characters in it, we already knew. So they didn't have to spend time on the backstories, really. You know, we didn't know all of them.
But we did, but
there was only a few characters that we didn't really know already.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because they didn't have to spend time on Mystique, Magneto, Xavier. They didn't focus on the Horsemen because they were focusing on Jean Grey, Cyclops, Nightcrawler.
I agree. I'm saying that's why it was easier in Days of Future Past, is because they didn't have to take time to do backstories. They could put a lot of characters in the film because we already knew all those characters. There was only a few new ones.
Yeah, and the new ones like
the girl who could make do the little
Blink,
right? Her. See, that's what I'm saying. Those few new ones that they did bring in, they didn't tell us anything about them. I don't even know their freaking names.
Exactly.
But it didn't matter.
Exactly. They served their purpose.
Exactly. So that's my point is, it was easier for Days of Future Past to do that because we already had the backstory of all those characters.
The characters were important.
We got the backstory in X-Men and X2, or we got the backstory in First Class, we had the backstory. So they were able to launch right into an excellent story right away.
I gotcha.
Where in Apocalypse, they were introducing new characters.
You had to introduce all the younger characters and stuff like that.
Right. They had to introduce, and they had to introduce Apocalypse. They had to introduce the Horseman.
I agree with that.
They had to introduce
Cyclops and
Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Right? Even though we knew who they were, we knew them in a different time.
Yeah.
So they had to still reintroduce them.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I get that kind of put Apocalypse already at a slight disadvantage in terms of trying to tell such a big story with so many characters with limited time. But I liked it. I really did like it a lot. I like what they. I like that Mystique is. I know some of the criticism is that Mystique is like a good person, a good guy now, and I like that they've done that. I really the thing that scares me about this Bryan Singer leaving, if he is going to leave, is that I really like the young Nightcrawler and the Jean and the Cyclops and Storm and in Quicksilver. I really like those young characters, and I really want him to make now a movie of them.
And that's what I've been saying. Yeah, it's like, people have been criticizing the film a little bit, but everyone agrees that these younger characters are good and it's a good place to go. So they need to continue.
Do it now. Yeah.
They don't need to go off and do something else. They need to take these characters they just introduced and continue their story.
They need to let Jennifer Lawrence go away.
Let her go. I say let Fassbender go away, at least for a little while.
Yeah, because I don't think they need Magneto for now. They need to focus on Xavier and then the kids at the school.
only one they need to have in there, I feel like, is Xavier, and he can be a background character.
Yeah, he could just be the one kind of
like in a lot of X-Men storylines. It's the team that goes out and saves the day, and Xavier's hanging back in the mansion.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. He could be a background character while the X-Men are on their adventures.
Yeah, I think we need that to happen soon, rather than later. But I really liked Apocalypse.
And do you think it completed the trilogy?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was pretty good wrapping up.
Yeah, I
to
mean,
it.
if you look at Xavier, Magneto, and Mystique's storyline, I felt like it was a really good,
Yeah.
really good wrap up for them.
I did. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it. I liked it a lot. I mean, like I said, I still think Days of Future Past was by far a superior film.
I'll give you that. Yeah.
But I mean, I liked it. I liked it better than Batman v Superman. Was that a good segue into the next story?
Well, I didn't give my opinion about Singer leaving, but
sorry.
needless to say, I hope he stays with the franchise as well.
I thought your opinion was obvious.
Well, yes, of course it was. You know, Singer, I think he makes great X-Men movies, and I want him to stay in some way, shape, or form. And I'm pretty sure, given his comments, he's not done with the X-Men franchise yet. My only worry is who's gonna, take the baton as well. So hopefully, because when they gave someone else the baton after X2, it ruined the franchise. X3, crap. Wolverine Origin, crap. It wasn't until Bryan Singer came back to help write and produce, and Matthew Vaughn directed First Class, that the franchise got back on track as well. So again, that's my worry, that if he does leave, it's going to go to crap like it did. So, but I don't think so, because I hope 20th Century Fox, especially with Deadpool's success, realize how fruitful these characters can be and this franchise can be, how much money they made off of Deadpool. He ties into the X-Men universe as well. Plus, they see, of course, that they want to make the X-Men cinematic universe because they see the Marvel cinematic universe doing so well, and they know that they've got just as good as characters and stories as Marvel Studios does. Again, maybe I'm giving them too much credit, but I'd like to think that the people making these movies are smarter than I. But we'll just have to wait and see. Time will tell. Okay? All right, so since you ever so tried to transition over to Batman v Superman, last week we got a trailer for Batman v Superman, the Ultimate Cut. So when the theatrical cut of the film came out in March, it was a running time of 2.5 hours. Now, director Zack Snyder, before the film even came out, said there was going to be a longer rated R version coming out on Blu-ray with never before seen footage. When asked about it, Snyder said, quote, "We call it the Ultimate Cut because to me, it's a deeper dive into that world and there are storylines in there that get fleshed out by the longer version. There was some sort of some stuff that surrounds the story that kind of finishes some of the ideas that we trim back, and I think that's what you get." Again, Batman v Superman been very criticized about the film. I think it's sitting at like a critic rating of like 27% right now. It's like in the 60th percentile as far as viewer on Rotten Tomatoes. And also now people that have worked on the film have come out to criticize it. Actor Jeremy Irons, who plays Alfred, came out to criticize it. Dave Gibbons, who is a famous artist who worked on The Watchmen, kind of criticized the film. The only thing positive is that Frank Miller, who is the writer and artist of Dark Knight Returns, that this film took a lot of cues from, did praise Ben Affleck's performance as Bruce Wayne / Batman. So as of right now, the film, however, is the 5th highest grossing film of the year so far. I don't think it's going to stay that way. But Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, the Ultimate Edition, is going to arrive on digital HD June 28th and on Blu-ray July 19th. So the trailer that just came out, it was like a minute and a half trailer, showed us, I feel like, a lot of new stuff. You want to take the lead, or you want to take this one?
I don't care.
All right, I'm gonna take the lead on this one.
I have things to say.
I know you have things to say about it, but I feel like I'm gonna give it more credit than you will. Okay.
Sure, go ahead.
So when I first saw Batman v Superman, again, I don't like the film. Okay, I don't, but I don't like it because I feel like it's missing stuff. I feel like it was kind of a mistake, too, for Zack Snyder and Warner Brothers to say, hey, you know this film that you're really excited about? Well, guess what? It's not the film we actually wanted to show you, and we're going to show that to you later on. I felt that was kind of shooting themselves in the foot.
I totally agree. That was my biggest
Yeah.
issue when they announced this stuff before the film even came out. It's like a movie you were already kind of nervous about. And then they're like, yeah, but this isn't actually what I wanted to make.
Yeah, this is the one.
The studio or whoever
Yeah.
is making me cut things out. So there's going to be things I really wish were in there and that would make it a better movie. And we're going to show you them afterward.
After, exactly. So I kind of shoot themselves in the foot right there. And as I was watching the theatrical cut, again, I felt like they were missing a lot of character moments, diving deep into deeper into the story to make the confrontation between Batman and Superman at the end actually mean something.
Yeah, because that was one of our biggest complaints after we saw it, was that there were just so many pieces that didn't really make sense.
Yeah, it's like why are these guys fighting? By the time they got to the battle, I'm like, why are these guys fighting? And from this trailer, we saw kind of that where, first off, you have, looks like we're going to get a lot more of that Africa scene where Superman comes in to save Lois, and allegedly we're going to get more Jimmy Olsen in that scene as well, where Superman's fighting some missiles or something's going on. And then in this scene, Clark's watching the TV about this woman's being interviewed about it. And just kind of more, I think it's going to set up more kind of setting up why people are
It might explain why Clark is so, like, depressed and broody.
Depressed, but also why maybe why Ben Affleck's character Bruce Wayne is against him, why he sees him more of a threat, really.
Yeah.
Okay. And then also on the flip side of that, we got to see Clark kind of interviewing people about Batman, where one guy commented like, this isn't, him, he's darker now, he's more violent and stuff like that. And this lady's like, this man only responds to violence or something like that. Mm-hmm. So again, more character in depth. So this is the movie that I think I originally wanted, and I'm kind of excited for it. I know I'm probably going to be a letdown, but I'm excited for it because if I get a half hour more and it's all character development, the movie actually might flip for me a little bit. Some of the things, of course, one of the things that was taken out that we were always teased about was Jenna Malone. Allegedly, they said she was going to play Barbara Gordon, which, of course, people know is Batgirl. So we got to see her in this new trailer. Whether she's going to actually be Barbara Gordon or if she's a different character, we don't know yet. There was one line that came from Wonder Woman in this trailer that I really liked that I don't think was in the theatrical cut, was the one at the end of this trailer where she's like, men have made a world that is impossible to have peace, or something like that. That was a really good line. I can't remember that in the theatrical run, but I'm anxious to see that one in context now. But yeah, okay, I'm going to hand it over to you. Go for it.
Well, no, I mean, you said a lot of the stuff that I think about it. I think that it was a mistake, like I said, for them to tell us this was coming before we even saw the original. Because I think it put a lot of people like me and you who were kind of, unsure of what we were going to get. We weren't 100% thinking we were going to love it. And then we hear beforehand that they're taking things out that they really think need to be there, so much so that they are already planning. Deleted scenes are normal. And, 99% of the time, deleted scenes are deleted for a reason. Like when they show you them afterward, on extra, on like in DVDs, you're like, yeah, that didn't, totally makes sense. I'm so glad that got taken out. There's very few instances where like director's cuts, where they get to add back in the stuff that the studio made them take out for time constraints or whatever. Rarely is it better. Lord of the Rings, I think, is a huge exception. Shut up. Those extended versions are amazing. I can't stand those extended versions. Those extended versions are so much better. And there's a handful. I know you've said a few times that like the extended cut of
Daredevil,
you like better. That one.
And actually bouncing off of Zack Snyder, the extended cut of Watchmen, which I thought the theatrical was fine. The director's cut is a little better too.
Right. So I think that a lot of times there are rare times when the studio makes a director for whatever reason.
The Wolverine, the director's cut is better too. So anyway, sorry.
So no, I'm just saying, there are times where the studio says this is just too long. You have to take these things out, and for some reason, the movie's put together in such a way that anything you remove is going to affect the quality of the film. And
a good story is like that,
right? And I think that this may be the situation in this one. My only, hesitance still is it still going to have Lex?
Yeah, but
he was one of my biggest problems.
He was bad, but if we get scenes, if all the extra half-hour stuff was stuff that was not Lex related, and
it won't fix the total confusion of what Lex did at the end of the film.
You're adding more. If you're adding more goodness to the film, it's going to shrink the bad parts.
Yeah, but it still won't fix.
It won't fix it.
Ending.
No, it won't fix it. But
it still won't fix. That Lex created. It still won't fix that Superman himself had to take this stupid kryptonite spear. Yeah. Instead of Wonder Woman or Batman.
Wouldn't it be great if they fixed that?
Like, that's what I'm
just saying. Wouldn't it be awesome if they fixed that?
So even if they go back and they add a lot of extra stuff, and the extra stuff is backstory, and I think that's great, but I still think that I'm going to be disappointed because it's still going to end the same way.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Like I said, it comes out on digital HT June 28th. What I'm hoping is that on June 28th, because I know on Amazon, when stuff comes out, you can rent it and not buy it. So I'm hoping maybe it comes out in digital HD. I can actually rent it on June 28th for a couple bucks, watch it, see if I like it, and if I do, come July 19th, I can buy it. Because otherwise, I feel like, again, I disliked the theatrical cut so much that I'm very hesitant to spend the money just blindly buying the Blu-ray.
I think that's a good plan.
So I think, again, if I'm not allowed to rent it on June 28th, I'm still gonna rent it when it's available to do so. Check it out, and then if I like it, then I'll buy the Blu-ray. So
That's
I think
reasonable.
that's a reasonable plan, considering how much I disliked the theatrical cut, and there are no guarantees
Agree.
that this added footage is going to help the film, although I think it will. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, there was another story here about The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
I don't care at all about him.
Ouch, man. It's The Rock.
I'm sorry.
Come on, you're not excited for Baywatch?
No.
Anyway, The Rock signed on to play Doc Savage, a DC comic book character in Shane Black's upcoming film, although no release date has been set. You're not even excited that The Rock is teaming up with Shane Black?
No.
Harsh, very harsh. All right, well, we'll skip that one for now, guys.
Sorry. I mean, I like Shane Black, but like I said, I didn't like The Nice Guys nearly as much as what was
No.
the other one? The Kiss Kiss,
Kiss
Bang,
Bang,
Bang.
Bang, yes.
That was a zillion times
Yeah,
better.
and then Shane Black had this little film called Iron Man 3 that I thought was kind of horrible, too.
Yeah, I never even saw it.
But anyway, okay, guys. Well, that's going to be it for us for tonight. Time to get this little lady tucked into bed because it's about her bedtime.
It's past my bedtime.
And as for me, it's time to watch some Game of Thrones. Hope something good happens tonight. It'd be awesome. So I'm sure you'll hear about it later. All right, guys. So that is going to be it for us. Like I said, I'll try to do something else on Tuesday. Talk about Rebirth. Maybe talk about something else. Maybe just sit here and blab on for a little while. We'll just have to wait and find out, but we'll see. So for now, hit us up on social media if you want to talk about any subjects or talk about the weather or whatever. Dayspringdiscussions@gmail.com. You can also find us on our Facebook group or Twitter account, and you can find me personally on Instagram and Twitter, SlimDayspring12. And that's it, guys. So until next time, may the force be with us all.